this is Dr. Dribbles speaking. Last Sunday night around 3:30 in the morning, I received a phone call from a friend of mine by the name of Mrs. Pernickel. She told me that a thing had been sucking on her toe, which was green and somewhat froggish looking. When we arrived at her house, I noticed it right off the bat. It was a habitus fig tree nut ball, famous for toe sucking and eventually engulfing the whole body. I soon began to notice that as the creature took deep breaths, Mrs. Pernickel was shrinking as it was growing. Soon it became elephant size and Mrs. Pernickel was nowhere in sight, so she obviously was in its stomach. I couldn't take a risk blasting it with a double barrel with Miss Pernickel in its stomach. So we socked it in the back and with baseball bats, and I clubbed it a few times in the stomach, hoping not to hurt Mrs. Pernickel. But nothing seemed to work. It just breathed and the room became more and more humid. So we had to bail out the second-story windows, which we all did, and we landed successfully without breaking an ankle or anything. We then left the fake 911 call, all got in the car, and bailed out of that dumpy area. Once we got out of that junkyard of a neighborhood, I realized that it was 5 a.m., which is perfect time at Dunkin' Donuts to get a brand new donut. So that's where we all headed. I'm sorry about what happened to Mrs. Pernickel. Hopefully she made it out one way or the other, if you know what I mean. And hopefully we'll see her eventually. I doubt it, though. I've heard of these creatures and they're dangerous. Anyhow, it was a crazy night, more or less like a festival of freaks. Dr. Dribbles signing out. Good night.